Hey YouTube world, well here I am knee deep in a Fortin auto start installation. Typically I wouldn't think you'd have to tear stuff apart this far, but I like to see what I need to see. I already installed a bypass harness into the steering column. There's two screws on either side of the steering column that have to come off to open it up to get in there. What I did was there are small holes in each side, get some light on each side of the steering column, and if you look in there and feel around, everything else is cast aluminum, but there are some steel spring pins, and if you push those with a long screwdriver, the airbag will pop off. There's three of them, one for each spoke, so there's one on each side, one in the middle. So this comes off, and then you don't have to take the steering wheel off, just turn the steering wheel enough. And actually, looking at it now, I wouldn't have had to take that off. So, learn from me, don't take the steering wheel off. Turn the wheel, you can see the screws. I'm not used to this stuff that has asymmetrical horn buttons and airbags. But so with those two screws off, this will split. You can get in there. It's a mess of wires and a mess trying to get everything packed in there. But if you work at it, you'll get it. You don't want to see what that looks like. But like I said, I did choose to take out the fuse block because all the wiring that I need to get to, according to my wire cut, my chart, is the BCM behind the fuse box, which is right there, and the fuse box goes right where all those wires are hanging out. So I chose to remove the fuse box and to be able to get at those wires. You can also see where I did the bypass, use the T harness. This is the connector. This is not a factory connector. This is the connector from the T harness. Because in this model, since it is just a Forester, it's not an XT, it's not a Touring, I would assume that there's another module, body module that goes here, probably for the eyesight, the following and the safety side lane departure, which this does not have. And it just so happens that my Evo 1 slides right in there nicely, right into that spot. So that's where I'm going to keep it. Because all the wiring's right there that I need to tie into. The box is there. I will place it so that the colorful side is out this way, because there is a button that you have to, reset button you have to get to. And this black connector is to do flash updates with their flash updater. So you do need to get to it, but when I put that box in there, it'll sit at the very bottom of that bracket, if you can see, which is near the bottom of that fuse, which is also right by the OBD2 port. So I should be able to access that when everything's put back together, just by jamming my head up underneath here. So panels are out, side panels out. You have to take this side cover off to get at screws, to get this bottom bezel off. Don't just try to pry it. There's a screw there. This came off easily. All the connectors are wonderful. Used to work on the Audis and Volkswagens of my kids, and I still haven't figured out those connectors. And it doesn't help that they're all 15 years old and kind of brittle, but these are nice little push slides on all these. And so I guess the bad thing about taking out the fuse box to get to the connectors is the battery has to get disconnected. And with the battery disconnected, there's no way to verify. So I'm putting my faith in the printout gods that when I cut wires and splice wires based on the color and the location, that everything will be okay. So, but it is nice to have a resource like that. I guess that they have wiring pinouts for pretty much every vehicle out there. So that's where I'm at right now. Just to show you also the hood pin, I figured it would be nice and stock, easy. Just put it in one of these two holes. And of course, when I set it to the maximum height, it didn't undo the contacts. So I did have to drill a new hole, which was kind of nice in that it gave me fresh metal so I can make good contact. So that's good. That's been tested, and that'll be ready to go for the hood security. And there, of course, is my disconnected battery. So Try to stay out of trouble that way. I don't know where I'm going to poke through the firewall yet, but it looks like there's lots of yummy rubber grommets under there to jam a sharp object through. So that'll work. So again, it's a Fortin EV1 with the T-harness for a 2015 Forester with the flash updater. So I'll need to make that connection. But here's everything tore apart. Now we're going to start splicing wires and putting stuff back together. So I will, if anything comes up, I'll shoot another video just to show kind of what that's all about. And hopefully a video later today of how it works. So out for now.